In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. Through Him all things were made, and without Him nothing was made that has been made. In Him was life, and that life was the light of men. The light shines in the darkness, but the darkness has not understood it. The true light that gives light to every man was coming into the world. He was in the world, and though the world was made through Him, the world did not recognize Him. He came to that which was His own, but His own did not receive Him. Yet to all who received Him, to those He gave the right to become children of God. Children born not of natural descent, nor of human decision or a husband's will, but born of God. The Word became flesh and made His dwelling among us. We have seen His glory, the glory of the one and only who came from the Father, full of grace and truth. One day about 2,000 years ago, an angel appeared to a young Jewish woman named Mary and said, "Do not be afraid, Mary, you have found favor with God. You will conceive and give birth to a son, and you are to call him Jesus. He will be great and will be called the Son of the Most High." Mary was confused and worried about this sudden news, but she had faith in God, and she said, "I am the Lord's servant, let it be as you say." Birth of Jesus was awaited by the whole world. Jesus came to be the Savior of the world. He did not come as a grown king with trumpet blasting. Instead, He came quietly as a baby. God chose two humble people, Mary and Joseph, to be a part of His amazing plan. The news was too wonderful to keep silent. God sent an angel with word of glorious birth to simple shepherd in a nearby field. Soon heaven burst open with a host of angels singing praises to the Lord. The shepherd believed God's message and ran to find the child. After they found him, they were unable to keep it to themselves. They ran to tell everyone that the long-awaited Messiah had arrived in a manger in Bethlehem. The birth of Jesus was awaited by the whole world, especially so in the Middle East. The prediction was that at the time of the birth of long-awaited Messiah, the star would appear in the sky. Those who know the secret understood the symbolic meaning of the star. Wise men or magi from eastern country saw this star in the sky that signaled the birth of long-awaited Messiah. After Jesus was born in Bethlehem in Judea, during the time of King Herod, Magi from the east came to Jerusalem and asked, "Where is the one who has been born, the King of Jews? We saw his star when it rose and have come to worship him." When King Herod heard this, he was disturbed, and all Jerusalem with him. When he had called together all the people, chief priests and teachers of the law, he asked them where the Messiah was to be born. "In Bethlehem in Judea," they replied, "for this is what the prophet has written. But you, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah. For out of you will come a ruler who will shepherd my people Israel." The Herod called the Magi secretly and found out from them the exact time the star had appeared. He sent them to Bethlehem and said, "Go and search carefully for the child. As soon as you find him, report me, so that I too may go and worship him." After they had heard the king, they went on their way, and the star they had seen when it rose went ahead of them until it stopped over the place where the child was. When they saw the star, they were overjoyed. On coming to the house, they saw the child with his mother Mary, and they bowed down and worshipped him. Then they opened their treasures and presented him with the gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And having been warned in the dream not to go back to Herod, they returned their country by another route. The wise men left their homes and their families. They set out on a very long and possibly very dangerous journey, hoping that they would have the opportunity to see the long-awaited Messiah and to bow down and to worship him. Just the opposite, Herod became angry at the thought of giving up any of his power. Herod knew this was no ordinary child. There was something about the child. It struck fear in his heart, and he began to work out an evil plan. People of Jerusalem were supposed to be watching and waiting for the Messiah to come, but everyone in Jerusalem was troubled and disturbed. These wise men spent their lives listening to God and watching to see where he was at work. They were certain that they will reach to their goal, and they waited joyfully. Their eyes were always watching for God's hand. Jesus has given his quality to the world. It is a historic moment. Through him, the universe is reaching higher and higher. The universe is reaching to crescendo. It is not just coincidental that Jesus' birth has become the most important date in history. Each person in the Christmas story had to decide what to do about the Messiah who had come. Mary and Joseph loved him and risked everything to protect him. The shepherd ran to meet him. The wise man left everything to worship him. The Jews in Jerusalem were troubled, and Herod plotted to kill long-awaited Messiah. Everyone who has ever lived has had to make decision about the truth. He is the light of the world. He said, I am the light of the world, and whosoever followeth me will not walk in the darkness. I pray that the light of God will shine upon you all. Wish you a very happy Christmas.